Robert Drysdale for MMARocks. Hi Robert. You're again in Poland. How can you quickly tell us how is the camp going and how do you see the visit?
Yeah, really well. You know, I'm always impressed by the level in Poland. This is my, I think I've been to Poland like 7 times now. So I'm quite familiar with the culture and with people and the environment here. And it's always fun. It's always fun. As far as the camp goes, man, great turnout, close to 100 people. So it's a good turnout. You know, it's a 6-day camp, and lots of fun, man. Lots of good training. Like I always say this everywhere I go. Like the people here, like especially the low-ranking belts, the guys that are coming up, the new generation, they really impress me. You know, yeah, I think that of course it's tough for a lot of these guys to compete at the Worlds, but a lot of these guys went over to the States to compete. I think they do really well.
Okay, actually, it's your 7th almost visit in Poland.
Yeah.
How do you see the level of grappling progressing in Poland? Generally, in European scene, the Polish grapplers are doing really
You know, I normally put the Polish grapplers as the best grapplers in Europe. And then there's Finland and Sweden are right there as well. So those 3 countries are probably have the strongest grappling teams. It reminds me a lot of Brazil. The way they train there, their mindset, the way they see Jiu-Jitsu is very similar to how they see Jiu-Jitsu in Brazil. In the States, it's a little bit different. In the States, you have like probably 95% of your clientele, they see it as a hobby, as just something for, just to learn self-defense. That's how they look at martial arts in the United States. Whereas in Poland, they kind of see it the same way Brazilians do. It's a sport, and I want to be world champion in the sport. You know, they see it a little bit different. The level is very high, man. Like every time I come here, I'm always impressed. I'm always like, man, that's a good purple belt. I think the last time I was there, I was training with one of the blue belts, and it was the first time in my life a blue belt gave me a hard time. Okay. I've never had a hard time with a blue belt my whole life. I was like, man, that was the first time a blue belt gave me a hard time. You know, so the level's going up very quickly. I know they're very serious about jiu-jitsu. I know they're fanatic about it. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. You know, if you're crazy about something and you truly love it, you're going to get good at it.
Okay. Actually, a few weeks ago, there was a group from Poland visiting the United States.
Yeah.
Aslan, Szymon and Karol. Just could you quickly tell us how was the training?
It was good, man. They really impressed me. You know, Karol's a very good striker. Aswan's very good grappler, very hard to put away, very strong. I was impressed like how athletic he was.
And that's the Chechen guy.
Yeah, he's a Chechen. Yeah, he's so athletic, man. It blew my mind. I didn't train with him much, but he was doing really well with some of my best guys in the gym. Simon too, very good jiu-jitsu, man, very good wrestler, just overall good fighter. I hear from what people tell me he's the best MMA coach in Poland. I hear that from so many people, so just a cool group of guys, man. They were there for I think 16 days, and I was training with them, especially with Simon and Karol, because they're close to my weight. I was training with them almost every day. So it was good training. I'm sure they had fun. I'm sure they learned something new, and it was a good experience.
Okay, one thing that they told us, that the interesting part in training in the United States is that they don't pay such much attention in grappling when they train for MMA. More like, getting up from the ground as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Did you have the same impression that this?
Here's the thing. Like a lot of guys that look for me, I don't have good jiu-jitsu guys looking for me. The guys that look for me are the guys that never trained jiu-jitsu before. So they're like, hey Rob. So some of these guys have been boxing their whole lives, but they don't know anything. They don't know what an armbar is. So part of what we teach them is to stand back up, because I want my guys to win. I'm not going to be I don't see jiu-jitsu as a religion. Like, oh, you have to be on your back and you have to win the fight. No, you have to win the fight any way you can win. If you're a striker and you want to get back up, I'm going to show you how to do it. And that's part of it. The other part is, even from a grappler's perspective, a lot of guys, when you go from jiu-jitsu where when you get on top of someone, the guy's going to try to sweep you and finish you, and he is going to be playing the guard, and then you're used to that, you train like that your whole life, and then you go and train with someone who's trying to stand up the whole time. It's like, why are you standing up? Why aren't you playing guard? No one tries to sweep you in MMA. No one's trying to finish me. They're all trying to get back up. So my top priority becomes not defending the sweep or the submission. My top priority, even before passing or submitting, is keeping them down. So we emphasize like standing back up. To train both guys. One, to teach him how to stand back up if he has to, and two, to teach the guy on top to hold him down. Because otherwise, if you get into the habit of letting the guy stand up, because in jiu-jitsu, no one in here tries to stand up. It's not part of jiu-jitsu. You understand? Like, you're on the ground, you stay on the ground. But in a fight, everyone tries to get back up. So you want to be ready. When it happens to you, you know how to hold your opponent down.
I mean, is that like the strategy generally in USA MMA, or is it just particular?
No. I think that.
Because, sorry to interrupt you, you can see that in UFC, the ground game is actually, let's say, not so common. Yeah?
Well, the fight begins on feet. You got to remember, the vast majority of guys don't want to be on the ground. Even like the good, like some of the grapplers, they become strikers now. They're good wrestlers. I think part of that has to do with the judges favoring striking. For example, I've had a UFC judge tell me this: a near submission is not even close to a near knockout. Like they actually had a UFC judge tell me that a beautiful takedown is worth more points than a close submission. That's horrible judging, if you ask me. That's stupid judging, but that's how they look at it. So if you pick someone up and slam and do nothing about it, that is worth more points than having someone in the title naked choke. Because it looks good. So what is it? Is this about is it as real as it gets, or is it about being pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Because if you want to make it pretty, let's go do pro wrestling. You know, it's about reality. And a rear naked choke is real. You were very close to finishing the fight. But if they favor aesthetics, then it's not about efficiency anymore. But I'm not a judge, so we work around what the sport is. And yeah, you're right. Like the majority of fights are being, stay on their feet, and majority of finishes are from knockouts and TKOs and not submissions. So like we have to work around that, So especially when we get going back to what I was saying, like when you get on top of someone, you want to make sure you don't let them stand back up. You want to get advantage of your ground game.
Okay. Well, talking about submission in MMA, your last fight proves that there's still space for a good submission. Yeah, it took you like 82 seconds. Yeah. So 4-0 generally right now. So what's your plan generally for MMA?
Keep fighting. I haven't fought much. I plan on getting another fight before the end of the year. So let's see what happens next year. I got another 2 fights with Legacy, and I saw a lot of jiu-jitsu guys, a lot of wrestlers too. Their hands get better and they want to strike, and next thing you know, they kind of forget their background. I noticed that a lot of jiu-jitsu guys that do that don't do so well. They're doing well when they're just stick to jiu-jitsu, and then when they start becoming something they're not.
Damian Maia can be a
he's a good example. He's the one that comes to mind. Like I think he was doing better. He was pulling guard on people. He was doing better than when he started striking with people.
He won with Strona.
Just with pure jiu-jitsu. I think Nick Corey, he pulled guard on him. So, I'm not saying that. I work on my striking as much as I work on my jiu-jitsu. I spend probably more time working on my striking than on my jiu-jitsu. But at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is where I'm more likely to win my fights, and that's what I know best. So if I see a takedown, I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna hesitate. I'm gonna take it every time I see it.
Okay. And your ultimate goal is to get to UFC, or you just play how it goes?
I don't think about goals like that. I think my immediate goal is to get good. Okay. My immediate goal is to learn. My immediate goal is to work hard, and everything is a consequence of that. So you work hard and things happen for you. I don't see myself as I have to be in the UFC, or that's the goal, because it could be more than that. It could go beyond that. I don't know. Like I just want to keep working and see how far I can make it in the sport. And I think UFC eventually is something I plan on being in, but it's not something I'm crazy about.
And any short time goals right now? Do you have a sparring camp preparing somebody for any?
Man, the last camp we just had for us fight in Alessio. I think James McSweeney is the next one. I think he's fighting in August. So as soon as I get that, we're taking care of him. I should be fighting maybe September. I don't know for sure yet. Maybe September. And we have so many pro fighters at the gym. A lot of them are short notices too. So it's like we're always training, never stop. Sometimes we get 2 weeks notice. You got to get ready in 2 weeks. So it's a non-stop flow of training fighters.
Okay, so last thing, give us your pick on the fight. You're a favor and KANAŁ this weekend. Who do you take?
Man, I think it'll be a hell of a good fight. I think I want KANAŁ to win.
This is amazing because the favor is an underdog in that fight.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, Henan is a beast, man. He's like 28-1, 28 fight win streak.
Something like that, yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I know he's hungrier than Faber. So I think I give Henan the edge. But you can never count a Rai out. You know, he's a great striker, a great wrestler, very dangerous on the ground. It could go either way. It could go either way. But if I had to put money on someone, Henan.
Thanks very much and good luck.